Alright guys, it is data mine time, and we know what is coming to My Hero Ultra Impact next thanks to Hydros. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the item drop rate campaigns that are coming up. We have a main quest ×5 drop rate. Take advantage of this while you can, coming up on the 13th for normal and hard quests. This is going to allow you to complete your ability boards a lot faster, so you want to make sure you get that done because we do not have like any of those coming up for at least a little while. If you look down here, we do have a main quest normal and hard at ×3, but that's not ×5. Like these ×5 ones are really good. Make sure you guys take advantage of those while you can and farm out as many board items as you can to work on your characters. In addition to that, we will be getting more TV anime release celebration recruit tickets. Like I said in my summoning video when I did the free summons with these tickets before, I had what, 35, and so this is an additional 5 that'll get us to 40 even. I don't know if they're going to be giving us more tickets after this, but hey, at least that is 4 free multis if you guys hopefully haven't wasted your tickets doing singles. So look forward to that. We are for sure getting those 5 more tickets. It is going to be on the 20th when we receive those, between the 20th and the 28th, so you need to log in during that time to get these tickets. The rest of this stuff is okay. Like none of these are that great. The stars are like pretty decent. That's like the second best thing here. You'll be able to receive those on the 15th through the 23rd, so make sure you guys are kind of logging in between those days to get those rewards, because those are some fairly nice rewards, especially the tickets, because if you add those 5 to the 5 you already have, that is a free multi and you never know what you might get on that. Besides that, we are getting another Ultra Impact character select recruit. So this will go from the 12th of April until the 18th of April, not a very long time, and you're going to be able to get these characters that you see right here. You can pause the video if you want, but a lot of these characters are actually fairly decent. I feel like this has a pretty well selected out character group here. In my opinion, the 2 biggest prizes on this banner are probably this Red Aizawa and the Green Compress, and then after those 2, I would say like Blue Endeavor's pretty good, Nagant's pretty good, Midnight's pretty good. Like there's some pretty good characters on here. White Hair Dabi is still okay. Like he's like, all these characters are fairly decent. The ones that I really wouldn't want personally would probably be like All For One and Overhaul, and honestly maybe Mirko too, twice as well. Those are kind of characters I wouldn't aim for, but the rest of them are all okay, relatively newer. They're going to be somewhat decent, so this is not a terrible banner if you're a newer player, but keep in mind we do have these things if you're a newer player called Impact Fest banners, which have increased rates. I just wouldn't even waste your time summoning on these banners. These are like the biggest bait banners, and I would just wait until we have an Impact Fest banner where you have increased rates and chances to pull Impact Fest characters, which are the best characters in the game, as well as other general pool characters and memories. And then after that banner on the 16th, we are going to have the All For One Climax battle returning, where you are going to be able to fight All For One and the 2 Nomus that he has alongside him. Keep in mind that as you take on different difficulties, the things they do change, how much health they have changes and stuff like that. So you do want to actually kind of read through the stuff about the boss. And if you guys want to know more, this database obviously run by Hydros, My Hero UI is going to be able to give you a little bit more information on that climax battle if it is your first time. I know for a lot of us though, we already have All For One DX level 130, so it is a good chance to get a free summon ticket that you can use potentially to get another free UR memory. So that's also really nice that this is actually finally returning. And then last but not least, the biggest piece of news I have for you is the new banner information. It is going to be called Hearts United Operation Rice Ball Recruit. And basically, I think this is like the version of URARAKA that has the megaphone and is like, just let Deku be a kid. And so, yeah, we have this URARAKA here. I've kind of read through her kit already. She's interesting. We have the UR memory, the SR memory, and then we have a event SR memory. So we're going to go through all of those and what they can do, starting with the SR event memory. And by the way, this banner will also be coming out at the same time as the climax battle on the 16th. So starting with the event memory is called A Friend in Time, and it increases characters' critical hit rate by 20% when HP is 50% or higher. That's not bad for a free-to-play SR memory. And then when character gets knocked out, oh boy, it's one of those. It increases critical hit rate of all allies by 30% for 3 turns, defense by 20% for 3 turns, and restores their HP by 20%. Like, that's actually an insanely good effect for an SR memory right there, increasing crit rate, defense, and HP. Like, that's great. The only problem is you have to have a character get knocked out, so that means if you're like using this in PvP, you're not going to get the perfect. If you're using it in VE tower, I guess it could be useful, but like you're also relying on your character dying, which is not consistent, so it's going to be hard to use. I don't know. Memories like this just are always like, where do I use these? You know, it's cool in theory, but where am I really going to use this? The best thing on this memory is the guaranteed crit rate above 50% health. Like, that's fairly decent, but there's really better crit rate memories out there if you were going to use a crit rate memory. So like, the art on this memory, love it. It's actually like, they put so much detail into the shading and stuff like that. The art team always killing it. The effects, sometimes they're hit or miss, and in this case I think it's going to be a miss. You never know, I could eat my words. It could be useful maybe later at the JP anniversary when they finally give us new content, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Who knows what they're actually going to do, but you never know. Memory could become useful. As of right now though, I don't really see it having a use. Next up, we have the Summonable SR memory. This is going to be called Unsung Hero, and hopefully you guys all know what this scene is from. Increases character's action skill impact by 55% when equipped by an ABL type character. When character's HP is below 50%, gives character a barrier that nullifies one hit. Up to one time, and regenerates character's HP by 20% for 3 turns up to one time. Why are they doing all this barrier stuff, dude? That's my question. They have been pushing barriers onto us with a couple of the last few characters, and barriers just aren't it. I'm telling you right now, they are not it. We have so many characters that barriers don't stop them because they have multi-hit attacks. Like, why are they pushing barriers so hard? Like, they gave us a memory that makes barriers a little bit better if you happen to summon that memory, but it's still not anything worth having. I'm really genuinely hoping they're giving us so many barrier characters and memories and stuff like that, because during the JP anniversary they're gonna do something with the barriers. That's my hope. But as of right now, like, barriers are freaking absolutely useless. Evasion is 100 times better if you have evasion. So like, if this gave evasion, I'd be like, all right, that's decent. But yeah, this memory is it's okay. I mean, it's not great, and it's character specific to ABL types, so it's like, I don't really think you're going to be using it too much. Once again though, our team killing it. Next up, we have the UR memory. It's called Light and Chaos. Once again, beautiful, beautiful art. I just have, like, I really, this time around, I think the art is immaculate. So increases character's critical skill impact by 50% when equipped by an ABL type character. Increases character skill impact by 25% for 3 turns after character initiates critical attacks 3 times, and then also gives character a barrier that nullifies 1 hit every 3 turns up to 4 times. So they're doing the barrier thing again. This is like specifically designed for the new URARAKA, obviously. Increasing critical skill impact by 50% is like good, that's not bad. And then giving increased character skill impact by 25% whenever you land critical attacks is good too. So that's a lot of increased attack, right? This memory is going to make the character hit a lot harder. The thing is, like, that's not all you need. For a memory, you need it to also give like speed for PvP, or you need it to also give like plus ultra gauge or a technical hit. That's something that like says when used in a successfully executed skill chain. So just increasing skill impact, whether it's critical skill impact or just their general skill impact, like, while that's cool to make the character actually viable and hit hard, it's not going to be all that useful in either PvP or PvE, at least with the content we have right now. So like, that part of the effect isn't even that good for a UR memory. And then additionally, this is just like spitting on us, giving us 1 barrier every 3 turns. 1 barrier. Like, this memory is bad. This memory, I'm gonna say it, like, I normally don't talk. Like, I normally am like, you know, we'll see in game when it gets in game. It might be better than it looks, but this time it's just bad. The stuff they're doing with these memories right now, I'm not liking it. And honestly, when I looked at the character, I will say I'll give her a chance in the game because maybe she could be good, but like, I'm not too impressed with URARAKA either. So in my opinion, skip banner, easy skip banner. But you know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let's take a look at URARAKA. All right, so her plus ultra move is called Spinning Comet Rampage, and it deals 650% damage to a single opponent, medium chance 40% of stunning the opponent for 2 turns if the opponent is a strength type character. So they have to be a strength type character, which is, you don't even get a low chance if they're not a strength type character, from my understanding with the way this is worded, which is like, Now this does become a high chance of stunning if you hit a crit, so that's actually a pretty, like, almost guaranteed stun, pretty good stun, but it just has to be a strength character. I don't like that prerequisite, and we've seen it on other characters, like for example Ojiro, who is specifically like designed to target strength characters if I remember right, and it just doesn't work very well because people don't run mono teams of like strength, so it's just Yeah. Increases critical, unless they're going to introduce an arena where you have to run mono teams. Then this could be good. So future, looking to the future, could be decent. Increases critical skill impact of all allies by 30% for 3 turns. Increases plus ultra gauge of all allies by 20%. So that's actually really good. Increasing plus ultra gauge of all allies on your plus ultra move by 20% is solid, and you increase their skill impact, making them hit harder. This is really actually a pretty good support. Plus ultra right here, once again, the stun is just a little lackluster. And then her action skill 1 is called Zero Satellites. It deals 375% damage to a single opponent. Increases characters plus ultra move skill impact by 35% for 3 turns, and increases characters plus ultra gauge by 20%. So she increases her own right there. And then low chance, 15% of stunning a single opponent that is strength type for 2 turns once again. So that's actually a medium chance with a crit. And then increases the skill's critical hit rate by 30% if the opponent is a strength type character. So like it's a pretty high chance to actually stun there. Like, don't let the low chance actually fool you there. Overall, it's not terrible because it increases her own plus ultra move skill impact and her own plus ultra gauge. So even though you're not getting that from here, you're getting it from here. So it's okay. Cooldown time of 4 is not bad. Action skill 2, Rapid Rescue, increases critical hit rate of a single ally, not all allies, by 25% for 3 turns. Critical skill impact by 45% for 3 turns, and max HP by 30% for 3 turns. Also gives a barrier that nullifies 1 hit to all allies. Woo! There's the barrier. It's like, it's not good. There's better support characters. There's characters that give that type of support to all allies, okay? Now, I will admit 45% critical skill impact on a single character for 3 turns is decent. Like, that's a pretty high number. I just don't like that it's on one singular ally. It's just, man, it's not great, and it doesn't do any damage with the skill. This is also a single target attack. This is also a single target attack. No AoEs whatsoever, right? So it's like, I'm happy to move out of the AoE meta. Very, very happy to do that. But at the same time, I like characters that have at least 2 skills that are attack skills for their action skills. I don't like it when one of these skills is literally just buffing other characters or buffing one character in this case. And I don't know. It's just not great. It's not great. Auto skill 1, Desperate Call, increases critical hit rate of all ABL type allies by 20%. So once again, if you're running a mono blue team and all ABL team, she could be good. She could be really good. So maybe they'll introduce some sort of arena or game mode where mono teams matter. Then she'll be good. As of right now, okay. Also decreases the speed of all strength type opponents. So once again, if they ever introduce that, it could be really good. Auto skill 2, Cheerful Support, increases critical hit rate of all allies, excluding character, by 20% for 1 turn every 2 turns. Like, that's solid. That's decent. That's one of the best things I've seen so far for VE Tower. And then increases the max HP of all allies by 15% for 2 turns, every 3 turns up to 4 times. That's also fairly decent for survivability. However, it takes a while to stack that up. That's a little bit of a problem. Reduces the cooldown time of all allies by 1 for 2 turns when the character has a barrier up to 4 times. So this is them trying to make barriers more useful than they are. Now the thing is, if I ran like an all barrier team, like characters that just gave barriers to this URARAKA, maybe. So I see her being maybe used with like the new Celebration Todoroki. And so he gives barriers to the team, she gives barriers to the team. You can reduce action skill cooldown time and just get your action skill cooldowns, action skills back faster. But like at that point, I feel like to get your action skills back faster, you're sacrificing actually like decent characters just to put barriers on her more often. So I don't know, we'll have to see. This is the part right here. This particular part right here tells me she could potentially be good. We'll have to see how she is when she gets in game and have to see how that works. They always have to throw some sort of wrench in. If there wasn't this part right here, just looking at the rest of her kit, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely not great. Absolutely skip on this character. But right now, I'm like, I would recommend skipping, but you never know. There could be a use for her in the future. She could be useful depending on how this is. So just keep that in mind. If Izuku Midoriya is on the team, increases critical skill impact of all allies, excluding character, keep in mind, by 20% and plus ultra move skill impact by 30%. So she's really just going to make your team hit hard is kind of the goal behind this character. And she only is really a great support for blue type characters. and only like I would say a mediocre support for anything that is not a blue type character, and if you're not going against red enemies. So like I feel like she is going to be a very niche character, and yeah, I don't know where she's going to have her uses unless they introduce some sort of new mono type, like where you have to run a all blue team, all green team, all red team, whatever, in the future during like the JP anniversary. So that very well could be coming on the horizon. We don't know what they're gonna do, but in my opinion, this is probably a skip banner. But once again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.